Welcome to this edition of Beauty Business Matters, and I'm Susan Routledge, your host, and I'm here with the lovely Lisa Comber, who is, who I know through listening to this podcast and got in touch, and is a long-standing, nearly 20 years in business, salon owner, has a training academy as well. And the thing is that Lisa has gone through so many highs and lows in her business journey, which are fascinating and a little scary in places. So I think even if you, obviously from the beauty industry, but not even that, if you're a business entrepreneur, this is going to be a fascinating journey. So Lisa, welcome to the podcast, and welcome into Beauty Directors Club as well, because you've now joined us. So obviously you're a bit of a serial entrepreneur.
If you want to say that, yeah, if that's what you want to call me. It doesn't feel like it. It just feels I'm crazy, but yeah, definitely.
But so what I think will probably be the best way to cover all of your journey is to run through it chronologically, how it's happened. And I think there's just so many lessons in there. So left school, went to train straight away, yeah?
Yeah, so I left school, loved school actually, but I was not, wasn't academic at all. I was just loved the social side of it. So made lots of friends, and at that time, it was like you go into hair and beauty if you weren't the best in education, and that's where my path took me. And it was the best thing I ever did. So I went to my local college and I did a hair and beauty course, 3 years, which is very different now.
I did 4.
Did you?
I had to do 4. I think they thought we were really unsure. We'd make them do an extra year.
And I think back at what we had to wear as well. We had to wear like the white dresses.
Yeah. Which if you washed them in too high heat, they went grey. Yeah. It was just, yeah.
So white dresses, but honestly, it literally was the making of me. I loved it. I went every day. I just learned so much. I still wasn't good at the theory side, and I did struggle with all of that. But I had some amazing teachers. And yeah, I became Student of the Year. And from that, I then got myself my first job in beauty. So, but I never stopped. Like literally, I went on work experience, and from there I worked at little hairdressers on the local parades. It was when you did sets, and
that's very similar to me. My first acting job, £2, I got paid, and it was very much the same. Where I was just like washing rollers and everything.
Getting my wages in a little brown envelope. Yeah, it was just crazy times. But yeah, the best. I loved it.
And so, did you train in hair as well?
Yeah, so I did hair and beauty. I actually started doing hair first. So that's kind of where I thought my path was going to take me. And I worked in a beautiful hairdressers in a town near me. And sadly, they turned up one day and the doors were locked and they'd gone under. So I was just turned up in my little red, I was only 17. I remember driving there in my little red micro metro. Oh. And the doors were closed, and I didn't really understand then. I was 17. But why I went into beauty is from that salon really. They had a nail bar at the very end, and it wasn't really the thing then about nail bars, and it was a circle, and you had like desks coming off it, and the clients were all talking, and you had MTV on in the background, and the vibe was just amazing. And that's the side that I loved. That's what I fell in love with, was the chat, the gossips, the client interaction. And for some reason, hair, I didn't like the client looking at me in the mirror at what I was doing. Yeah. And that's what put me off the hair. But then I came into beauty where I was working even closer with the client, but I could deal with that. Yeah. So it was a funny twist on that bit. But yeah, beauty is where I ended up going from there.
And from there, what did you do next then?
I've done so much.
I know. This is why I thought we need to do it chronologically, because there's so many learnings in it.
I went to a salon, and and they were hairdressers, and they were just opening up a skin centre. And it was like one of a kind, really, at that time. We're going back into 1999 sort of era. And they just brought Dermalogica in. So it was a Dermalogica salon, and it was amazing. They went on all the training. I learned so much being there, massaging all times, non-stop. So that was my first proper beautician job.
So how did you end up, because I know you went abroad and did a spell abroad. How did that fit in? So it was at that time when you literally got paid £2.88 an hour as an apprentice or as a junior. And I think I just kind of got to the point where I wanted to do something different. And I was a bit of a... not a tearaway child at all, but I did enjoy life. I liked the party life. So I was like, I'm going to go and be a holiday rep. So I decided had an interview, got the job, went out to Gran Canaria, did it for a couple of weeks, hated it. And then I wanted to stay out there. So I ended up being a beautician out in Gran Canaria, got myself a little moped and just went around doing people's nails. Like self-employed?
Self-employed, yeah.
Amazing.
So I loved it. I was over there, had Christmas out there. There was ups and downs. I was homesick, missed my parents, missed my mum. My mum came ill when I was out there as well. But just living in the sunshine was amazing. So at the age of 20, I did it. And I really enjoyed it. But,
so what brought you back?
My mum was poorly. And when I came back, I realised that I just needed to settle down. That wasn't the real world. I was living a great, fun life for a 21-year-old. I came home and just wanted to be with my mum, my family, and just came back and knew I wanted to get married one day, sort my life out, and that's what it was.
So then you went to work at Gatwick?
Yeah, so I went and worked at Gatwick as customer service, and I loved it. Loved that job. Being interacting with people, having a challenge, dealing with delays, complaints. It was just...
I can think of nothing worse.
It's just a challenge, isn't it? Just a challenge to try and make people happy. And I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. And in that time, I was back at my mum and dad's, and my mum and dad built me a lovely, converted the garage into a lovely little salon for me. So I was really lucky to be able to do friends and family as well as work at the airport. And then I started growing a little bit of a client base from my colleagues at work. And then I met my husband at the airport.
Oh,
wow. He was in one terminal and I was in the other. And
working?
Yeah, working. Both for competitive airlines as well.
Right.
And 4:00 in the morning, I was on a shift over his side at the airport, and he just came over to me and started telling me silly jokes at 4:00 in the morning that were not interesting at all. And that was it. We went together, stayed together, and been together ever since.
Oh, how lovely. This episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsor, Forest Salon Software. I'm especially delighted about this partnership because I've known CEO of Forest, Ronan Percival, for over 12 years, and he was also the first guest on this podcast. The Forest story began with a genuine love for the salon industry, and their passion for helping businesses thrive is what makes them such a great synergy and such a great fit for this show. They bring so much energy and enthusiasm to helping and supporting salons. And as part of this partnership, they are offering an exclusive deal for our listeners. It's a huge 50% off Forest Salon software for the first 6 months. It's an incredible saving, especially in today's climate, and a great way for your business to stay focused and strong for 2025 and beyond. If you'd like to take advantage of the offer, simply check out the sign-up link in the show notes, and be sure to mention the podcast when you speak to their fantastic team. And thanks to Forest Software, and now back to our incredible episode. So the little salon that your mum and dad created, did you carry that one on, or did you move that somewhere else? Or
yeah, so I had that. I called it Beauty at Home, and I was there for quite a few years. And we moved out, had our own house, and I still went back and worked there while I was working at the airport. And then I fell pregnant with my daughter, and I went on maternity leave from the airport. And then after that, I realised I didn't want to go back to the airport and do the hours with a little one. So I decided that I was going to build up this business at home. And that's what I did. And then till the point in 2007, I was getting married, and I went and looked for a bridal dress in an area about half an hour from where I live. And as I got talking to the bridal shop owner, she said to me that there was a shop next door that would just be perfect. And I was like, oh gosh, how do I do this? How do I get a shop? Like, how do you even do something like that? Do you have to go to the bank? Do you need to see a solicitor? I had no idea. But it wasn't any of that. It was so simple. And just I put a deposit down, and before I knew it, I was a key holder of a premises.
At the same time as planning a wedding?
Same time as planning a wedding, having a little one. And all I knew at that point is the clients that I did at my home salon, I knew was going to pay for the shop.
Yeah.
So if I could still work at home and make that money, I would be able to afford the shop. And that's where the start of my journey was, of going into salons.
And was that Perfect 10 then? Was that the first Perfect 10?
That was Perfect 10, yeah. That's where it all started. And I can't tell you where that name came from at all. Everyone says it to me, but I really cannot remember really where I thought of that name Perfect 10. It's the song that comes into my mind all the time. Yeah. And I'm not going to sing that to you.
Yeah, great name. And do you still have that one?
So I still have it in that area, but I had it for 4 years, and then I had my son, and I was off literally for 3 weeks maximum. And when I went back, I just had some people helping me out at that time, because I was very much like a solo person. And I had some people helping me out, and I just felt like I needed something more after having my son. I've gone there, and I was just like, okay, this is going to be the same old thing. What do I do? Do we move? Do we come and live in the area? Because now I've got a wonderful client base.
Yeah.
And then I literally walked around the corner, and as I came around the corner on the high street, next door to a coffee wine shop was an empty shop. And I was just like, I want that shop. And that is where Perfect 10, in my eyes, really became Perfect 10 and grew as a business.
And how many, so you've still got that one?
Yeah.
How big's the team there?
So over the years, it's been big, it's been small. So at the moment, we're at 5 therapists. Yeah. All employed and absolute stars.
And what's the main treatments that you offer there?
So in that location, it's a high street, so it's very quick in and out. People have a lot of nails, lot of nails, pedicures. And I feel like reason more so than ever that it was nails is because of COVID, where we had to close the treatment rooms. We still had to keep our business going, and that was where we could do nails. So we actually closed the treatment room, made the shop floor bigger to be able to accommodate more nail area. Yeah. So I feel that's probably why. But to be really honest, the girls and the products and my passion is so much into skin. The treatments that we can do now is amazing. And the salon is really growing into a different direction. We're still always going to be nails.
But now with a skin clinic element to it too.
Definitely. Yeah.
Brilliant. So then we'll move on to, I know you're going to just like say it, now walked around the corner and there was like another location. So location 2.
So this is, I never wanted this one. So I'd had a bit of a crazy whirlwind of life. So sadly, my mum died suddenly on Mother's Day 1 year. And it was a massive shock to us. And I turned up at work the next day. The day after she died, I had to go into work because I just found out the week before that someone that was working for me self-employed was leaving, and I couldn't not come back to my shop and protect my business. So I walked back into the salon the next day. And kind of my grieving or my mechanism of dealing with the grief was I just worked and I did not stop working.
You know what though, Lisa, I did exactly the same with my dad. I lost my dad really, really suddenly. And I think you've got all these clients relying on you.
Yeah.
And you don't know what to do. And I did exactly the same. I just thought, what would my dad want us to do? And I just went back to work. And it's strange because you don't properly grieve.
No.
It was quite a long time after that it hit me really hard.
Yeah.
Because I think when you're in business as well, you tend to be, you're that strong one who everyone relies on. So you just get on.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what it was. And even like till today, I know that I've not grieved properly because I work so hard, and my mum was such a strong, hard worker as well, that that's me, that's who I am. And I wouldn't change it any other way now. I still went to work that next day. I carried on going. I worked right up to the funeral. I think I took the day off after the funeral, but that was it. But I'm proud of that. And I know my mum would be really proud of that as well. Yeah. So from that, we then lost my dad. Sadly, my dad got pancreatic cancer, died within 30 days of being diagnosed, which was a big, big shock. And I felt really cross at that point because just lost my mum and now my dad.
Yeah.
And we just started building our lives again. So it was hard, really, really hard. And then 6 months later, we lost my mother-in-law. So we had a real hard time, me and my husband. But it made us really strong, such a strong couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my husband just came home. He was a plumber. And he just came back and he said, there's this really good shop that's empty that I've just done the first fittings on. Okay. He's like, you really need to come and see it. It'd be great for a salon. I was like, not interested. And I just left it. I didn't think about it again. And then I was having my hair done and I heard a hairdresser say about an empty shop somewhere. And I know they were talking about something else. And it just made me think, is that the shop my husband was talking about? I might need to go and have a look at that. So I phoned him up and I said, where's this shop? And he told me. And it was literally 10 minutes from where we live. And I thought, okay, let's go and have a look.
How hard can this be?
I went and had a look and it literally was a brand new shop, had nothing in it, an empty shell. And we just started building our lives again. We just started getting over the grief, and we had 2 young children and all of that running around, and we just started to be able to deal with everything because it was just us now. And I was like, go on then, let's do it. And that's where our second shop came from.
And you've still got that one?
Still got that one. I opened that in 2019 summer. And you know what happened in 2020.
Yeah. So
obviously a lot of businesses, we went into COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard, really hard.
So a team of how big in this one?
So now this team is, again, 5 people. Yeah. Really lovely premises. It's in a village. It's a big shop. It's very spacious. We brought the village vibe into it. So it's not clinical. It's really relaxing. It's lovely, really, really lovely. It feels nice when you walk in there. It feels relaxed.
And in between all of this, you've also won awards and things, haven't you?
So entered, we've entered Professional Beauty Awards. We've been finalists. It's great. I absolutely love awards, even though we haven't won one just yet. But it keeps us on our toes, and I think it's great.
To be finalists, though, our industry is so huge. To be, I know you got voted in the top 5 and things. It's huge when you look at the scale of our industry. So, winning, to me, being a finalist, the key thing, it's just to be there. It's just amazing.
And when you do fill in the application, it really makes you look at your business and what you've done and what you're doing. So yeah,
it's like doing a little business plan. And the thing is that, you know, it's a very British thing. We just don't get to like shout about like all the great things we've done, and it forces you to write everything down. So I always like say to everyone, even if you don't press send, like fill it in, you know, fill in an application, because it's just such a great process to look at your business, how you would be explaining it if you had to someone else kind of thing. It's great.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's good. It's definitely good. I took the whole team to the awards and we had a fantastic evening. So I take my family, they're part of it as well. Like they've been part of Perfect 10 their whole life. So they've watched us go through the ups and the downs. So they definitely are part of it. So.
And you've got a training academy now too?
Yeah. So my mum made me do every qualification that I could when I was at college and in my young 20s.
I love the sound of your mum.
Yeah, so she was great. And I did my teachers and my assessors a long time ago. And then I went into college and I just volunteered and watched. And I honestly think that's probably what made me my business to a point, is that I wasn't afraid to go in for nothing and watch other people and get that knowledge from them. So that's what I used to do. And then literally after COVID, I realised that we needed staff. Like we'd lost staff, people had been furloughed and life had changed and children, etc. And we needed staff, and where were we going to get this staff from? So I started recruiting, and I was getting lots of newly qualified therapists come into for interviews that just did not have the knowledge.
They're not industry ready.
Not at all. Not at all. And I really felt sorry for these people. Like they should be given a chance, and they just isn't. People are just saying no to them. So I decided then that I was going to take on apprentices, because obviously in COVID we were getting the help as well at the time. So I took 6 apprentices on.
Amazing.
And I took myself then out of the shop floor one day, and I trained them myself. Obviously, they had online training at that point, but I did a lot of the training myself. And from there, I realised that I needed to have an academy, because I needed our space to be able to teach and train. So I went down the route and got ourselves a regulated training academy, where I absolutely love it. So it's a part of Perfect 10, but it's also on its own identity. And I love training. I love even my therapists that work with me. I just want to give them as much knowledge and as much training as they can.
And the thing is, do you do all of the training yourself?
I do.
I knew you were going to say that.
I do.
I don't know how you fit all this in.
I spent 2 years on my computer every evening writing every single manual, every single word. And as I said at the beginning, I am so dyslexic. Like, we call it Lisa's language, because my WhatsApp messages are hilarious, but everyone gets used to it. So it was hard. It was really hard. And I found it a struggle, because at that time, there was no guidance, there was no help. So how did I know I was teaching the right thing? How did I know that I was doing things right? So again, I learned and I made mistakes, and I wasted hours making mistakes and carried on going.
Yeah, but the thing is, you learn so much from those. Well, I always like to say it's never anything wrong. It's just, you just sometimes got to twist and turn to get the right way to do things, haven't you, kind of thing? Yeah,
and I was very lucky. I've got a couple of really good friends that I was able to send out my manuals to, and them to spell check and do the commas and the full stops and my wheres and the theres. So I built the academy from scratch.
And I love as well, because when I was doing all of my research and everything, that you have like sort of for 14 to 17-year-olds as well, so they can sort of get a little feel for the industry and that.
Yeah.
I love that. I wish I'd had that when
Yeah.
we were.
Yeah, it's after school club. And we've got one on this week where we are doing they come in, and it's great actually. They come in and they learn about the industry. We talk about it. We open their eyes up to it's not all singing and dancing. But we get the skin scanner out and they scan each other's faces, and they're loving the technology of that. They then learn about manicures. They do a hand massage. They can go back home and practice on mum. Then we do facials. So it's a 4-week after school club. It's lovely. It's really good fun.
And that, again, that would be your idea.
Yeah.
And how many of them, have you got any statistics on how many of them actually then go into the industry?
Yeah. So statistics wise, probably not, because my brain's not going to function that way. But for out of a group of like 10, most people that come onto the after school club are wanting to pursue that. So I give them a certificate of attendance, and that goes on their CV, and they hand it into the colleges when they go to them. So it shows that they've done something really interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm just working with a couple of the local secondary schools now, and I go in and I help them with interview techniques, and I explain the beauty industry to them. So it's good fun.
Yeah, the thing is that I used to do that with the colleges and go in and do lots of different things, and it's great because then you get to like you get to cherry pick sort of like who's because I always like think you can teach someone anything but their attitude.
Yeah.
And once they've got that attitude and that like the little twink in their eye kind of thing, you know that they're gonna.
It is, attitude is definitely the main thing, but I just love it. All of a sudden they found it so hard they want to throw the tools down, and then all of a sudden it clicks and you just see that little spark. It's great.
So anyone listening to this will think, oh, Lisa's a hard worker, but like this is all fabulous, absolutely fabulous, but it hasn't always been like that. And you've just gone through a really traumatic time, haven't you, with HMRC?
Yeah.
Where like, you know, when you first told me about it, and then obviously I've learned more about it, you know, the thing is that you think you're doing great things with your business, but then, you know, someone can just come in like and really railroad through it, can't they, really? Yeah,
it's been really tough, and this is the first time I've really spoken about it as well. So I got in COVID a call from HMRC to have a VAT inspection, which is absolutely fine, no problem at all. As far as I always had an accountant, always done what I was told to do. But what I've learnt since then, it's like quite a lot of industries, we don't know what's right and wrong. We're just going down the path of.
Well, I think as well, when you are so busy, your head down getting on, you've got advisors around you who are like telling you what to do.
Yeah.
As in like keeping you on the right track outside of like you having your head down. And obviously then it just can suddenly change, can't it?
Definitely. So my head was down a lot in business. I was working all the time, really hard at the nail desk. I didn't have dates like time off. I would go on holiday like 3 or 4 days later than my family, because it was all just working hard to make sure we kept the business going, everyone employed, etc. So obviously COVID happened and I got a VAT inspection, no problem at all, but I had to go up to HMRC by myself because we were in COVID. So I jumped on the train, went there, had to take a rucksack of all my paperwork, gave it to them. And then I had 5 hours of investigation interview, which was hard because I felt it was my whole life was being interrogated, not just work, but personal as well. And I hadn't done nothing wrong. Anyway, to cut a real traumatic story to a point is that I then got a phone call to say that I owed an awful lot of money over the last 10 years of them going back over my accounts. And then from there, I realised that I was advised incorrectly. I was told so many different things over the years to get to this point. And before, I hate talking about COVID more now because I feel like such a long time ago. But before COVID, there was nothing out there as there is now. We didn't have apps like we have now. We don't have webinars, and we don't have Zoom calls. We don't have all that information.
No, there was nothing before.
There was nothing before. And trying to speak to anybody, you would have to take a day off work to try and get hold of somebody. Like, it was so hard. The accountants, like, you were scared of accountants. They felt like the headmaster, and you felt like you were going to be in trouble. So you wouldn't want to contact them because you were too scared to contact them.
Yeah.
So it was really different then, where now there's so much out there for us, so much knowledge out there that it's so good now for everybody. They're not going to get, hopefully, into the position that I was in because we didn't have that knowledge.
Yeah. But the thing is, when you're tracking back that far as well, I can imagine, 5 hours of like interrogation, you know, I can't remember what I've spent like 2 months ago, never mind tracking back all of that time.
So I do have a really good memory, very, very good memory. And I could literally tell them every single thing that they pulled out of what was this. I could tell them everything. The thing for me is that I felt really scared.
Yeah.
I was on my own. I was nervous.
Did you know this was going to happen?
No. And I don't blame there's no blaming game. It's just uneducated.
Yeah.
Like, I went to college to do beauty. I worked really hard. And due to my own success, I am now a business owner.
Yeah.
Didn't know one thing about business. I've just learnt on the way, and I've worked really hard to learn. But the person that would have always helped me would have been my mum, because she was very clever, very intelligent. And I didn't have that backup anymore. So I was on my own, and it was really lonely.
And this has gone on for 4 years?
4 years, yeah.
But it's resolved now. But I mean, the thing is as well, because obviously, without going into too much detail, like sort of because you were a sole trader at that point, that's where you didn't really have any support. Whereas if you'd been like a limited company, but again, you were just going on the advice that you were given.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is that, you know, the consequences, I can even see just every time I've spoken to you about it, you can see how much it still is like raw in what you've gone through. But they wouldn't even put like payment plans in place or anything, would they? It was just either like they just wanted
all or nothing. So it's
crazy.
been really hard, and I kept it all to myself as well. Like, my husband knew that was going on, but I didn't want it to affect anyone. I just dealt with it myself. And I was at an event, and I came across the speaker was an accountant. And at the end, I just burst into tears on her. And I was just like, I need help. I really need help. I don't know what I've done wrong. And she was like, you've done nothing wrong at all. You've just been advised. So wrong, by people that aren't the right people to advise you. And it was like how we see it, the path that you go down. But thank goodness I met that person, because I was actually able to lift the lid off it and release some of that from me, because it was eating away at me. I couldn't get out of bed. I would drop the kids off at school. I'd still be a business owner. My staff didn't know anything, and I would go back to bed after dropping the kids off at school because I couldn't function. I didn't want to face the world. I didn't want to go. I didn't know what to do. And then I would still carry on, so no one would know this. And I've been fighting it for 4 years, to the point that I either lost everything, because as it was under me as a sole trader before I became a limited company. So I would have lost my business, because that was
Yeah.
obviously mine.
And the thing is that I know, obviously, when we've spoken, your drive to keep the business was, you employ these people. You've got this team. You've got the clients. You've got such responsibilities. And hats off to you, Lisa. The fact that you've got through this, because I don't think I know anybody else probably who would have.
Yeah, I've got such a good team. Like, anyone that's been in my business, as whether we got on or didn't get on, or they passed, they left on different reasons, whatever. My perfect 10 wouldn't be without every single person that's come through that door.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And these therapists are they've got children, some have got children, mortgages. Some have been with me for 17 years. I couldn't let them down. No. I needed to do this for them as well.
Yeah.
And it is hard because people say perfect 10 isn't my baby. My children are my babies. But it's my life. I've worked so hard for this. My passion. Yeah. My drive. And to know potentially that I would have to say to them, you've got no job. I just couldn't let that happen. That was no way that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And everything else I've done made this business as well.
Yeah.
So
hats off to you, Lisa. As I say, you can see how raw it still is, but now you naturally will be such a much stronger leader, person.
Yeah.
But it's just a shame that you've had to go through it all in the way that it has been, through, as I say, through no fault of your own, from purely not being advised correctly.
No, not being advised correctly. And I went down routes of seeing what we could do, extra advice and everything else. But the problem is that it was just going to get escalated and escalated. And I had to make a decision. What are we going to do? Are we going to deal with it, or are we going to lose everything? And I decided that no, I'm just going to deal with it, and I'm going to close the door on it, and I am going to move on.
Yeah. And the thing is that how we've made it happen is awesome. And I know there's implications of that for a while, but I've got no qualms that you'll not get everything massively sorted.
Yeah.
And, it reinforces you as such a fantastic person and great boss.
It's to me, more than anything, it's open up, go out and tell people what is happening. Because in my lowest, when I was in bed, just couldn't get out, I had still everything else going around me, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't concentrate because I had this heavy load on me all the time. And the advice I got from the lady that I met at the event is that when we open the box, we deal with it, then we close the lid back on until we need to open it again.
Yeah.
And then that's what started getting me through it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I always like to say, you're not your business, but the thing is, you do it. It has all those connotations around it of the fact that, of the implications of what can happen kind of thing. So, but it hasn't put you off because you're going to go and get another salon.
Yeah. So 3's a magic number. So I've dealt with this now. I can't wait now. I feel like it's time to move on. This has been on my shoulders for 4 years. And I am ready to move on. So we have got our 3rd location about to open, and I'm going to have a whole new different concept as well with this one. So I'm really excited. It's in a lovely little village in Sussex. And it's quite a small location, like my first location, and it's going to be brilliant.
Is 3 going to be the magic number, or will it be like, oh, I just thought to have a 4th?
So someone said to me recently, they reckon I'm going to have 10 because I'm called Perfect 10. But that's definitely not happening. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, I don't even know how I've got to this point, really. So, but at the moment, no, definitely 3's enough.
I think how you've got to this point is your passion and your drive, and that just you spade loads, bucket loads kind of thing. You know, as I say, you just everything to do with the industry. Yeah, it's you. Like they say, our industry. It is the passion and the drive that makes it such a great industry. Yeah. And to overcome hurdles and things. And, I know even just someone listening to this will learn so much, and for years to come as well, because now you've learned so many different aspects around business that, as I say, there's always going to be you passing on your knowledge, whether that's through your training or whatever as well. Couple of golden nuggets from you then. I bet one of them's get good advice, is it?
So one of them is be your biggest cheerleader. Yeah. I
love it.
So be you, just go out there. Don't be afraid. I hid so much behind everything. I wouldn't want to put my face to anything. I was scared. I was worried about people's opinions and what people thought of me. And I've realised that I need to just be me, and I am what I am. I've worked hard to get where I am. I've gone through ups and downs. I've nearly lost everything. But I got there through the end, and just be your biggest cheerleader.
And next one?
And my next one is don't take everything personal. So
good one.
Yeah. So don't take it as a personal attack. Don't take it personally. That's what I've really learned the most.
Yeah, as I say, you have to separate yourself from your business, but it is such a close bond that you do have with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Lisa, it's been an absolute pleasure interviewing you. If someone wants to, and I'm sure loads of people will, want to have a look at your business and what you do, what websites can they follow or social media, or what's the best way for someone to look at your businesses?
So Perfect 10 Sussex is our Instagram page. And I have a Instagram page of Beauty Talks with Lisa.
Oh, brilliant. And the Academy, does that have one as well?
Yeah, Avenue Beauty Academy. We've linked both pages up together now, so you'll be able to see a lot more of the Academy. So, definitely have a look at that, because we do the regulated courses, MVQs, and hopefully we'll be doing a few more things soon as well.
Oh, I can't wait. Thank you so much, Lisa.
That's all right.